Business buddies or everlasting enemies? Hi, I'm Joe Danini. I'm a business attorney, and today I'm going to discuss with you relationship documents, not on the personal kind, but on the business side. Imagine you have a great idea and you happen to discuss it with some family or friends, you discuss it with coworkers, colleagues, and you all decide that you'd make a great team by putting this business concept together. You get the structure down, you start getting excited about what needs to be done to get your idea off the ground, and you should be. Those are exciting times, and you need to capitalize on that. But you also need to think about some issues that might not be on the forefront of your mind during this time. For example, you don't necessarily want to end up in a messy business divorce, so communication is obviously going to be key. Communication can be structured in the terms of, say, monthly meetings. Weekly meetings might be a little bit much, but it could be unstructured whenever a major issue arises that you need to talk about that affects the business operations, affects finances, or anything that's material to the business being realized and making sure that your goals and objectives are achieved. Additionally, documents that you're going to execute that are going to spell out exactly your relationship as business partners need to be created. Some things that you should think about when you're creating those documents. Okay, the following I'm going to share are samples. By no means is this exhaustive, but here's some critical issues or some common issues that people think about. 1, money. What happens if initially you've come up with the amount of money you think you need, but it just wasn't enough? You've burned through the money too quickly and you need more, and you're at a critical stage to ensure success. Who's going to put in more money? How much? What if somebody doesn't have any more money? How do you address that? What if somebody that does have money puts it in? Does that mean that it's going to be treated like a loan and they're going to get that money paid back? Or is it equity, meaning you may lose some of your interest to give them more in exchange for that additional capital that they put in? What happens if you're profitable and there's some distributions to be made? How much of that? Are you going to distribute all your profits to each party based on their percentage ownership? Or are you going to keep some in reserve? These are critical questions that only you and your partners can answer. Additionally, besides money, roles. Who's going to do what? And for how much? Is there compensation attached to any roles that somebody might play? What happens in the event somebody just isn't pulling their weight in accordance with what your expectations were? Or what happens if they're vanished or missing and they're just incommunicado? How do you deal with that? Does that allow you to get them out of the company and get their membership interests or their shares purchased back? Again, these are critical questions that only you and your partners can answer. Finally, what about getting out? If you voluntarily or involuntarily need to get out of the company, what does that look like? What are your shares worth, or your units if it's a limited liability company? What mechanism are you going to value them for the time or the date that you end up getting out? What mechanism will you use to figure out how much you're owed and how much the company or your business partners may owe you in payment? Again, these are critical questions that you need to think about, because by thinking about them, hopefully they'll be addressed and they'll collect dust on the agreement in a drawer, and that you and your partners will effectively communicate to realize those business dreams so that you can enjoy the business that you originally set out to enjoy and have fun. I'm Joe Danini. Thanks for listening.